inflammation, dryness, itching, hair loss, low energy, skin rashes, changes in appetite, diarrhea, pelvic pain, nervousness, a decrease in how often you menstruate, discharge of fluid from the cervix, anxious feelings. I was like, what the beep? Hey nieces and nephews, it is your favorite life changer, health coach, and auntie of YouTube. And before we get started, this is about to be a very different type of video for you all today because I'm getting personal, but obviously my channel is where I share my health journey, and I have to be honest with you guys. And the reality of it is, because I am a woman and I speak to so many women here on this platform and in my community, I have to speak on women's issues and women's health more, especially when I find out things like this that are potentially more detrimental than we tend to know. I'm just gonna get right into it. I've been taking contraceptive pills for about 13 years now, and I started when I was 17. I'm now 30, and I've taken a variety of different kinds. I know when I first started, I have always had really terrible periods. I started menstruating at 13 years old, and when I got older, the periods did not lighten up. At some point around 16 for me, I would have cramps so bad it was like a morning sickness. It was like I would be in the fetal position. I would be really sick. Sometimes I would throw up. It would be really bad, okay? And I've always been a very moody person around that time. PMS for me would start like a week prior. I would have the hunger, I would have the fatigue, and be just out of my body, just a little bit more agitated and irritated. And of course, if you have menstrual cramps, only my ladies know about this, it's pretty hard to be in a positive mood when you feel like you're being attacked in your womb, and your lower back, and you're so fatigued. It's just hard to be in a positive mood when you're in so much pain and you have to pop some painkillers. And not every lady understands that. And this might not be the video for them. But for the ones that do, and one of the things that was brought to me was to take contraceptive birth control pills. And when I first started taking them, I was, they usually have side effects within the first 3 months. They say the first 3 months is when you might get side effects, and you'll be adjusted shortly after that. And the first few rounds of, I've switched so many birth controls over the years, again, 13 years, that I can't remember having side effects after the first few pills I took when I was younger, 17, 18, going away to college. I think I can remember my symptoms as being nauseous sometimes, having breast tenderness, and that's about it for me when I first started taking the pills. And of course, if for some reason I forgot a pill, I had to restart, the symptoms start over. And as I got older, the pill that I was taking, it wasn't doing enough for me. At first, the pill was kind of magical for me. My periods were less harmful to me than they were when I was younger and not taking them. I never really had bad acne. I might get a hormonal bump due to my period, but I never really had really bad hormonal acne or acne very much, period, unless it was allergy related in my teenage years. But when I got with these pills, I just found that at least my mood and my periods were just a little bit lighter. And I noticed that when I got older, as my body is changing with age, I would go and I would get my pill adjusted, like, hey, you know, this isn't doing what it used to do. So years and years later, bring us to the year of 2021. I switched my health insurance, and that switched my birth control over. You know, I figured they were giving me something similar to what I had before, but something that my new health insurance will cover. And it was a contraceptive called Isibloom. And I started experiencing some really, really, really weird things that I've never experienced before with other pills. And this included like Bartholins cysts, and just like I do, you know, as somebody who has fibromyalgia, psoriatic arthritis, like I've heard of Vulvadynia being, you know, which is inflammation of the vulva. I've heard of that being a thing, you know, with fibromyalgia, but I never experienced it before. So at some point when I started taking this new pill, I was experiencing like a weird sensation as if I was riding a bike, and you know, when you sit on the bike and your groin kind of hurts. I was experiencing that, similar to like if you were, you know, having a very long sexual evening or something. Only I know I ain't been doing nothing. Okay, I'm a good Christian girl, okay? But outside of that, for real though, I really was not doing anything. So I was trying to figure out what the hell was going on with me. I went and gotten all types of exams. I'm making sure that, you know, knowing is beautiful. Go and get STD tested if you are sexually active or you've been sexually active. Get it done regularly to make sure you're not passing anything on to anybody else and nobody gave you anything. I believe in that fully and strongly, and I have to tell this to my nieces and nephews. There are so many centers where you can go and get STD tested and screened for free. You don't even need money. You can do it. Please do it, okay? A lot of things that people have are preventable and treatable. If you do wind up having something as simple as chlamydia, syphilis, trichomoniasis, gonorrhea, these things are treatable and you can get rid of them. Anything else that's more permanent, you can treat them, you know? So please, you know, health matters. And as a woman, I really don't talk about this type of stuff, but I feel like it's necessary for me to talk about this type of stuff because it's like part of my journey here with sharing my health and stuff with you guys. Forgot to take it. You know, I noticed some symptoms, but I was like, man, I don't really know. Like, you know, the first 3 months of the birth control, I wound up stupidly forgetting to take a pill. And then I had to restart the pack. And that's when I got the same similar things. The cysts, this vulvadynia, like this weird sensation. And I mean, I'm clean as the board of health. I'm trying to figure out what the f is going on, you know? And lo and behold, okay, I'm looking up symptoms and side effects, and I'm seeing all of these things that somebody who's been taking birth control blindly for so many years never knew that there were so many side effects to these things long term. And this is why I'm making this video. So many of us are unaware of how these birth controls can affect our fertility, our health, our mood, our womb as women, whatever you want to call yourself. Like, seriously, our wombs are a big part of our overall health. So if you're like not taking care of that, or you're allowing something to alter that, you're allowing it to alter your mind and everything else that flows with you. And I did not realize that, like so many other people who are just taking birth control, you know, oh, I don't want to get pregnant. Oh, you know, it's going to make my skin clear. Oh, it's going to make my periods better. Like, there's a lot of deep side effects to this. And I have to say, as a holistic health person, I'm really shocked that I didn't learn about all of this stuff sooner, because some of the things that I'm noticing was prolonged in my body, like my scalp psoriasis flare. I'm like, man, I haven't had scalp psoriasis like this in so long. I'm really not that stressed or anything like that. Why is my scalp so bad? There's a correlation between that and prolonged birth control use. Go figure. It's a hormonal change. It affects, the scalp, the skin. I'm like, wow, these side effects that I was getting that I didn't get with any other pill, including like I was also getting like dryness, which, I got that detox swap. So it ain't no way that I should be feeling like a little discomfort. Yeast infections, that's a natural part of life as a woman. With if your hormones, if you're moody mofo, your hormones, I am so sensitive down there to anything. If I switch my detergents, certain underwear, I gotta use 100% cotton. Like, I'm very, very, very volatile. So when I find out about this stuff, I'm like, I look at this and I'm looking at the side effects. They're talking about inflammation, dryness, itching, hair loss, low energy skin rashes, changes in appetite, diarrhea, pelvic pain, nervousness, a decrease in how often you menstruate, discharge of fluid from the cervix, anxious feelings. I was like, what the beep? How did I not know this? And it made me think, like, how am I, as a health coach, I read everything else that goes into my body, all my types of foods, all my types of supplements, but how was I taking these hormonal birth control that have these side effects, including some of them, from what I understand, can have long-term side effects on your fertility? And I wasn't reading that. I was not even thinking about holistic at that time. I wasn't taking birth control, to prevent myself from getting pregnant. I wasn't even having sex at the time I was taking birth control. It's the fact that I just really wish I knew more about the holistic stuff of, taking care of my womb. Which brings me to this, okay? I started reading this book. It's called The Sacred Woman by Queen Afua. She's a holistic womb practitioner. And this book is basically like a Bible for like womb healing. It's sacred divinity of the feminine prowess. I'm just so looking forward to getting into this. I was actually put onto this from a real womb practitioner. Her name is Ebony. She has a YouTube channel too. And that girl is good at what she does, okay? I'm gonna put her channel in the description box below. But she actually put me onto this and put me onto like taking raspberry leaf tea, which I'm sipping on now, which is supposed to be good for my natural body. But this is part of my journey now as becoming somebody who's just like completely off of any prescriptions. That's the goal. Like, the only prescriptions I was taking was that birth control, and I'm dropping it cold turkey. I have not consulted with a doctor about it because who cares? It's my body, period. That's really how I feel about that. I'm sorry. I'm gonna start taking my Blossomy supplements. If you've seen any of my Total Life Changes videos, I've mentioned the Blossomy, and I just broke it down. I was real informational about what the product is, what people say the product does for them, and what's in it. But I mentioned that I was not taking this because I was already on some type of substance that affected my hormones, and that was the birth control that I'm talking about now. And now I'm off of it, so I'm on to this. Like, I know that by dropping that birth control, my estrogen levels are going to probably go okay or something. I don't know what's gonna happen, but this is gonna supplement what I need. Basically, what's in here is chromium and folate, which is very, very good for women of childbearing age to keep your, you know, produce more blood levels. Chromium is really good for the development of babies and women's health overall. And then it's got ashwagandha root, reishi mushroom, maca root, which maca root extract is like the extract that I've been looking all up in the forums in, and the girls were talking about, I forget which forum I was in. I don't know if it was a fibromyalgia forum or just, you know, some woman's forum I'm in on Facebook. And the lady was talking about the same thing at the same time. It's like a great awakening. It's just so ironic. I don't know if it's really that when you're looking for something, you find it, or, you know, if just, you know, the universe is just sending signs or whatever, you know. But I saw ladies talking about this, and they were like, hey, start taking some maca root. It'll be good for you when you get off of that birth control. And I was like, wait a minute, I have a supplement already in my shelf that I couldn't take back then, but now I'm gonna take, okay? Because it's got maca root, folate, chromium, it's got all that good stuff. I mean, and it's as simple as you just take 3 a day in the morning. They come in little pre-sized packs already. And I've heard really good things. I've talked to a girl that's on my TLC team with me, and she said that it did help her moods. My friends who have PMDD have said good things about this. And honestly, I don't like to talk about stuff that I don't know about. So I'll be able to give you guys more of a thorough review of this once I get to the bottom of the pack. But I've only gone through 3 packs of this already. So there's 90 capsules, which means there's 30 sachets of 3 pills in there. So once I get to the bottom, I'll give you guys a full review of how I feel everything is after, you know, my cycle completes, how I feel my next cycle starts, if I'm gonna continue the blossoming again, because I've never tried anything like this. I've never taken a supplement that was straight for a woman's health. And again, everything that I do is done with an integrity, especially when it comes to this health stuff. You guys know I take it seriously. And of course, I do have to give a disclaimer. I am not a doctor, nor do I play one on TV. I'm not claiming any of this stuff cures, mitigate, or prevents any type of disease. If you are new to any type of supplements, please consult with your doctor or physician. I am not one, and I'm not here to pretend to be, okay? Disclaimer. But I just wanted to share with you guys my journey on why I'm gonna start taking this. You guys can like, subscribe, follow the journey. So, because once I get to the bottom of this packet, this camera's gonna be on like this, and I'm gonna tell y'all what's good and what I think about it, honestly, as I've always done with all my products. If you want more information about this, just watch my other video. I will leave the link in the description box, and I will leave the tag up here where I originally went over what's all in Blossomy. I'll even leave a little clip. I'll even leave a little website where you can get more information about this if this is something that you're into right now as well, because I'm so serious, guys. I can't believe, like, I'm honestly kind of embarrassed, and I just feel like it's kind of crazy that as a person who kind of built that rapport, that I didn't even think about this thing that I was putting in my body every day for years, you know. And I just have to be real. Like, I have to turn the camera on and just talk. I just don't know what else to say, but that's the truth. Like, that's what I'm going through. So, you know, having guilt, you know, doesn't serve me. All I can do is work in the future. And I know in the future, I just want to be somebody who's holistic, have less chemicals in their body, live a more better life that's closer to God, and, you know, help some people along the way. That's what I want to do. And I figure I would just share that part of this journey with you guys. If anybody has any good comments, questions, or concerns about this topic, have you stopped taking a birth control before? What was it like for you? Are you familiar with this Isibloom? I'm just completely an open book because of all the things I learned about autoimmune and this and that. I'm so surprised I did not know about the effects of birth control long term or different types of birth controls. This is my long-winded rant on why I stopped taking birth control, why I'm not taking birth control anymore, and what I'm doing in the meantime, in between time. So till then, it's your girl, Bad Aunt BB, over and out.